I'm glad I found the unmute button straight away and didn't just talk for the next 15 minutes. So this is blueberry dragon fruit sour. Apparently it's Australian, who knows. Yeah, I was actually gonna stream on Tuesday night, but it was my birthday, so I hope the level is okay. Actually, I knocked the little knob on my USB interface, audio interface, so I don't really know where it was before. Hopefully it's not too low. It's usually too low. Yeah, so just back from a big trip and looking to get benching again for Team Cup. So what I've got on the bench today is the UP4. There's a couple of different UP4s. I think that it's too loud actually. Sours are good. How was the benching? Yeah, I'll get to that. A lot to catch up on after 6 weeks away, something like that, 7 weeks. So A88X UP4. There was an A85X as well, which I own as well, but I reckon this might do a little bit better for what I need. iGPU obviously because there's no DGPU in there. I've got some pretty random Sammys in there at the moment. I don't think they'll be taxed today because I actually have a lock chip in there, the A4-6300 non-K. So yeah, it's all about iGPU clocks and B clock and maybe a bit of memory at the end. Let's see how it goes. I've done a few runs earlier. Hey Mick. So why this strange combination? Actually, maybe just to mention it, what was it? A long time ago. So when I was looking at scores here, I realized that I'd done a valid, like a really bad valid, but a valid 112 B clock, which at the moment the run I did earlier today was, or yesterday was 125 B clock, I think. And that was 3D. This is just a valid, but apparently I don't have any recollection of this. Apparently, back in 2018, I did a stream called Crossblade on Air for Division 6. Back when, divisions existed. So there you go. That's the last time I benched this skew. I do have, I've bought some Ali, even though the stages for Team Cup aren't final yet. I have actually bought some Ali chips. I think the actual original one, I don't know if I think I deleted the one that's in this result, but I bought 3 6300s. I've got a 6420K out as well, but I don't know if that'll come in to the equation. yeah, that stage won't change. Nobody has complained about it. Everybody has a massive hard on for dual core iGPUs apparently. Yeah, so let's talk about, I guess I should talk about my trip a little bit first. I did meet up with 3 American benchers in the Midwest, so that was fun. I should look up the scores actually to give some context. So it was tech tested. Yasariani lives. Nobody calls him by his full name, but anyway. And Forks. We all met up at Tech Tested's place. And let's see. Okay, there's a lot of stuff here that obviously happened afterwards. This would have been May. Or what was it? Yeah. Basically, all I'm looking for is a frequency valid. Not memory frequency. Has it been? Yeah, okay. So this was immediately after the meet, I think. Hopefully I'm not totally wrong with that. But during the meet, there was a... How is it not on here? God damn it. CPU frequency. There we go. 8G on FM2, which is always fun. With the can of chili. I'm not an expert on this stuff. I'm not a local, but apparently Skyline chili is a local favorite in Ohio, and it helped us clock. Yeah, it helped us clock FM2 to 8G, so that was fun. And then there was a few other things like, so the aim, the goal, the very, very lofty goal for the meet was 4 8Gs. So FM2, AIM 3 Plus, LGA 1700, and LGA 775. And we got 3 out of 4, which is, and actually a 7.7. It was actually 7.75, so it's like homage to the name of the socket on 775. So, and that's by far the hardest of the 3 to do. So can definitely call that a success. Yeah, another can of chili arranged differently on a different motherboard here. I had a lot of trouble with motherboards not working and stuff, actually. So yeah, benching was a lot of fun. Meeting the guys was a lot of fun. Would definitely do it again sometime. So where is actually the LJ 1700? I'm curious now because I thought it was like an 8.1, if I remember right. Let's see. Huh. I'm not sure it's been actually subbed. Okay. Well, believe us. I mean, it's not so much of a stretch to believe that somebody did 8G on LGA 1700. As long as you have a chip that full pots and isn't horrendous, there's good chances. Gwen. Okay, 8.15. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So yeah, that was that. I don't know how much more I should talk about my trip. I mean, I went home to Ireland. Had a lot of fun on business and first class flights and stuff. Yeah, it was good. But let's talk about Team Cup, which is the actual topic of the day. I sort of do this every year. Where's okay memory? I'm missing iGPU, haven't I? God damn it. Well, what we'll do is we'll go to the iGPU first, or we'll go last because it'll be the actual rig that I'm benching. So here are the other sub competitions. PyFast 939. I have. What do I have? I think I have an Opteron 146, which if Tag was in this, or even Mick probably knows pretty well the different architectures. As far as I'm aware, as far as I've been told, there's Denmark, which is a dual core. I think they're both 90 nanometers. There's Denmark, and there's Venus. And I've got a Venus Opteron, and I've got a Denmark Opteron. And apparently, just because you can't really disable the second core on the Denmark, it'll clock worse. Or I don't know, maybe it just intrinsically clocks worse. But the 146, even though it's a pretty low multi, I think the highest multi Venus is a 154. So they probably go in increments of half multis. So whatever, it'll be at a disadvantage of 4 multi, which on 939, because it doesn't also have that weird inverse scaling with cold on BCLK and stuff. That's a bit of a disadvantage, but I'll certainly run the chip. I don't know if I'll run it cold because the gains aren't really there on 939, but I'll definitely run it on chiller, which sort of reminds me I need to get an AMD block. I have a heat killer, but I think it's an Intel only heat killer. A blind spot. Oh, okay. I thought you knew all the legacy hardware, but yeah. And that chip actually came from Miller. So Miller used to be on OCN, so my team. But the 146 came from Miller because he was selling a lot of stuff because he works for Intel and he feels like he can't really bench while working for Intel, which is fair enough. But some other people work for Intel and still bench, but everyone's situation is different. GPU Pi 100M Gina. What was? Does anyone remember what this stage was before it got changed? It was it X265 1080p or something like that? Hey, Paul. First time you come by the stream and the camera and mic look clean. Okay, I assume it's not like you know, say implying that you've come to my stream 100 times and this is the first time that the camera doesn't look actually doesn't look crap, but I'll take it as a compliment. Welcome. Okay, so don't really remember what this stage was before, but it's a Gina anyway, so I think I bought 6, 9, 8, 50 black editions or something, but it's an architecture just doesn't clock very well. So I'll have to see how much I can squeeze out of that. And it's, yeah, I think the IMCs are a bit dodgy as well. Yes, specifically designed to enrage Matt. There was some talk about the stage not being, you know, exactly what everyone wanted, and then just out of spite or to make a point, League changed it to GPU Pi, which is, I think that's fair enough. I don't know if the 7-zip is still 4P, but anyway, the meta is still all 8 cores, so I'll probably be running my, depending on what everyone else in my team is doing, I'll be running my golden / platinum 8350. You know, this beast. So I don't think it's the highest Cinebench ever on FX, but it's very close. That'll be interesting actually. So let's have a look. Which is more sort of impressive? I think the 11.5 is actually a higher clock, isn't it? Yeah, so this is below 7.5 or sorry 7.6, and this is over 7.6. So if I go Cinebench 11.5, aim 3 plus only. By the way, Paul, I don't know how interested you are in you know, streaming hardware and all that. I think this link is still up to date with, you know, the hardware that I use. So yeah, saying that though, I optimize my Cinebench 15 more than my 11.5, but in terms of raw frequency, it's one of only 4 runs that are over 7.6, and it's the second fastest run ever. I mean, I could, yeah, it's just, I could probably get the fastest, but you know, you don't want to kill your chip doing useless stuff like this. I instead choose to kill my chip running the 7-zip. Let's have a quick look at Cinebench 15. Hopefully it won't die. Okay, so I do actually have the fastest Cinebench 15 of all time on AM3 Plus. So that's fun. I ran Cold RAM. It was an absolute blast. I don't think 7-zip scales as much with RAM as Cinebench, believe it or not, on this platform. But let's see. Yeah, getting toward like 20, what is it, 2750 RAM. And don't tell anyone, but I have a backup. Okay, so AMD 2D, let's keep going. So yeah, pretty unspectacular stage that one, but it's, you know, it's AM3 Plus and it's always fun. Geekbench 6 AM4 quad cores. Some talk of people not wanting to do that because, you know, the meta is whatever it is, 5350 GE and 5300G and 5300 GE, and then is there 5350 non, like just G, not the E, something along those lines. So it's a bit unicorny, but Geekbench 6 always fun to run, you know, a new bench. And Y-Cruncher 2.5B AM5 5 gigahertz limit. Can someone tell me how that bench run works these days? Because someone told me that you set affinity to one thread. So is it now a non-multi-core bench, or is it just that setting affinity to one thread like speeds it up somehow? I don't really understand how you could set a multi-core bench to one thread and have it run faster, first of all. And then secondly, does that mean you can just run whatever core count you want? Like just run the 6 core? I don't know. That whole stage is a I mean, I have a 7600X and I have a 7950X, so I'll just run them against each other, but yeah, that's all a bit of a mystery to me. Hey Kicks. Should be still multi, okay. CPU-Z valid Celeron 478. Let me see if I can pull something out here. These are my pre-sorted Intel chips. Don't worry, it's not all of them. I haven't actually gone through my whole collection of stuff yet. This is the chip I plan to run, a Celeron 1.7. I have a 2.8 on the way, but this is a Willamette. So this is is it a different processor yet as well, or is it just a different microarchitecture? But this is the really slow microarchitecture that Socket 478 launched with, and so you can tell by the names of the chips. So I've got a Celeron 1.7 here, and then I've got a Pentium 4 1.5 gigahertz. So it doesn't really clock all that well. Later on, they had another, what is it? Was it Northwood? They had a second architecture on the same socket, and that's the architecture that you would run for this stage. I think there's like a 2.8, a 2.7, and a 2.66 or something like that. So I'll be subbing that. I mean, I'll be subbing this, but I won't be very happy about it. I'll be subbing this. Certainly subbing this. Subbing every single AMD 2D stage, just like every Team Cup and Country Cup since I started overclocking, basically. So Celeron I'm doing. SuperPi 8M, Prescott 1M DDR2. I guess it's an LGA 775 stage. I don't know anything about it though, so don't quote me on that. 3 Mark Physics on Sandy Bridge i5. I have a bunch of 2500Ks to bin through, but so does everyone else on the team. I don't know if I'll run that, and it's all B clock and all that. I hope to maybe just avoid. DDR4 X265, 6 cores, 1080p. I think I'll be running like a 10600KF or something for that. Always nice to get the Z590 board out, the Tachyon. And there's a Geekbench multi-core, which is basically an LGA 1700 stage, because you've got to do, you know, Pentium G 7400, like 12100F or whatever, and then 13600K or KF, and then 3900K KF or KS. Available to view. I don't see why not. I don't know if this link is going to be permanent, but hey man, see if that link works. I don't know. What's the sharing? Okay, so there's people viewing it. Okay, so it seems to work to view it. But like I said, IG, what is it called? iGPU subsection I have to still add. Okay, which I will after the stream at the very latest. CPU-Z valid SDR. I'm really curious about this SDR RAM frequency. Will that get it? Well, close enough. So DDR and DDR2, like DDR3 is unobtainable basically, but DDR is this Katori record, I think, which has stood for a long time. Kotori, not Kitori. Okay, how old is this? Yeah, 2014, almost 10 years ago. But SDR has been in flux, if I remember right. So I think this TerraRaptor score is, you know, 3 or 4 years old. 2021, not even 2 years old. Actually 29th of June, so like less than 2 years old. And isn't there a debate ongoing about if socket 478 or 370 is better for that? That's what I remember. 50 points on a single sub. Woo. 50 points? Oh, for this. Okay, so 478, 478. It does seem to be 478, doesn't it? But 370 on the third position already, and that's only 15 megahertz behind. But I expect great things from, I don't know if Warp 9 have turned into, I mean, they've always been old, you know, complainy type people, but I think this year they're really gonna like sort of sit out Team Cup and try to make a point. But I expect great things from a member of my team, and because it's a single sub stage, and hopefully Warp 9 comes to play. Hopefully, like even like Team Hardware Reactor and Extreme Overdrive. Is that the Italian team? Yeah, one sub. Yeah, exactly. PyFast, DDR, Northwood. I honestly can't say anything about it. I can't even tell you what socket this is. Is Northwood 512 a 775 architecture? Probably. I'd imagine so. 3 Mach 11 physics DDR2 is all the quad cores, right? On 775 DDR2 boards. So P45 boards, gigabyte boards, because they clock quad cores better. And then there's just a restriction 124 gigabyte total. But I remember someone saying that 4 gigabyte basically, I mean, maybe you can run power chip like 2x2, but it may just end up being like 4 1 gigabyte sticks anyway, is what I heard. But who knows how it really turns out in the end. Some crazy stages, yeah. CPU profile single threaded AMD DDR3 is really interesting because there are a number of different microarchitectures that may run well for this. Also, what is this? Is this a memory stage? Oh yes, memory. Okay. So memory it's not clock limited, is it? If it's clock limited, then I have an idea of what. Yes. Okay. 4.5. So, given that it's clock limited, you're gonna have to put a lot of effort into memory OC, but also IPC will be interesting. Like, are you gonna run FM2 plus, FM2? Hey, Shrunken. Yeah, Carrizo. I wasn't gonna say it in case in case I'm giving something away, but if you can get a Carrizo to 4.5, it's very interesting. But the thing about that is, because all the Carrizos are locked, you're sort of limiting your memory OC because you can only get 4.5 with a certain B clock. I don't think you. Let's say, I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head what the top multi is of the top Carrizo, but let's say that multi is 40. You know, you need to get to 4.5, so you've got to run 125 B clock, and then there's not that many RAM straps, and you may just sort of fall into a hole where you end up running really low RAM because you got to hit the CPU clocks, and the CPU clocks help you more in that bench than the RAM clocks. But yes, with an asterisk, Carrizo looks strong in that. Y Cruncher 2.5B, Benchmade, DDR4, 8, 10, 16 cores, 4.8 limits. So, yeah, I don't know. DDR4 only, clock limited, Y Cruncher, so AVX 512. I'd imagine, this is just a guess off the top of my head, I'd imagine what you run is a 12900K with the E cores off. A 7900X, so X299, and I mean 12900K 16 cores with the E cores on would do okay. Is it actually Intel limited? I'd be tempted to run like a 5950X, to be honest, But for this 16 core category, more than likely 7960X, aka, you know, 9960X, aka 109, whatever it was called. You know, all those refreshes that were all the same anyway. Is it Intel limited? It's not Intel limited. You know, 5950X wouldn't do half bad in that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, X29 all the, but the thing is, yeah, I understand, you know, if you could be bothered fucking around with quad core memory for every single sub and possibly buying these chips, because there's not many of these chips around in benching hands because they're not really bench relevant. I guess absolutely optimal would be 3 X299 subs. But I'm just saying, I don't think a lineup of, for example, 12900K, 7900X, 5950X would do that badly in that stage. WEG already. You know, starting off the war of words. Memory 6's Pi Prime 32B with Benchmate. I think it's AMD only, DDR5 only. Yes. So AM5, and there's a clock limit as well. 5 gigahertz. And it's 4 subs. And Pi Prime is a single threaded bench, so you would, if it was all out, I would actually like 7600 non-X, 7600X, you know, all the single CCD chips, just because it's easier to full pot them and stuff. But given that it's clock limited, cache comes into play, so, you know, more than likely what you'll end up doing is 7950X, maybe even 7950X 3D, you know, 7900X, and then the 8 core, maybe, whatever that's called, 7800X. Yeah, I just mentioned X3D, Tanta. Hello, by the way. Welcome. Yes, WEG has all the weird and wonderful platforms. I'll just close this. So I may as well just add this IGP stuff now. Shouldn't take too long. Okay, 3D stuff. 3D. Let's go to 3D. I'm calling it ATI because AMD would be a naming clash. Basically, RTG, Radeon Technology Group, is ATI, isn't it? In just a different lick of paint, even all these years later. So Firestrike GT is only GCN 2, so that's you know, 390X, 390, 290X, 290 non-X, that kind of thing. Still not sure how the whole unlocking thing goes, because yeah, Strunken is here. So Strunken, hopefully I'm not mispronouncing that. I think I'm right in saying that in the database, a 290 non-X with the cores / shaders unlocked, radio button ticked, is considered to be a different SKU to 298 non-X without that ticked, and it's also different to 290X. So a cheese sort of strategy might be, you know, 390X, 290X, 290 unlocked, 390 on. I don't know if the 390 is unlocked, but that would obviously be a bit of an advantage. Here's one of my favorite ones: 3 Mark 06 full run Barts. So, you know, 6870, 6850, that kind of thing. Crossfire, 2 core, socket aim 3. So just for the CPU test, you'll probably need Thuban, so, you know, 1100T, 1090T, and probably cold to keep up with the cards, even in the GTs and stuff. Yeah, I had a feeling the 390 doesn't unlock, but I mention it just because, you know, maybe someone out there, some obscure person has managed it. No, it doesn't change what hardware it's classed at. Yeah, I didn't know that. But even so, okay, it's only 4 subs, right? So then what you'd sub is 390X, 290X, 290 unlocked, 390 regular. If you get what I'm saying, because the extra shaders will help in Firestrike GTs. You can't, sub 290s because it's not two different SKUs, but the unlocking still comes into play. Wildlife Extreme RDNA 1.0, that'll be interesting. By all accounts, Wildlife is not really CPU dependent, so maybe some cold subs there. Hopefully, not too much cheese required. There's 5700 XT, 5700 non XT, and then it gets a bit dicey because I think the 5600 XT exists, but the non XT is like OEM only or something. Hopefully, not too much cheese in that stage. CloudGate HT3000 series quad cores only. So quad cores, I assume, means, no limit on, where are we? Oh, it's CloudGate GTs only. So many restrictions on this stuff. 4 processor cores, so you would run like a 12100F or something like that. And it's not Crossfire, is it? Yeah, one card. So cold on the card there as well, I'd imagine. X6 at full pot. Mine full pot, but their IMCs are just very variable with temperature. And there's 3 Mark 03 HD 2000 series, which I'm looking forward to because I have 5 2900 XTs. That'll be interesting. No CPU limit, I don't think, of any description as it stands. Oh, dual core only. Yes, dual cores only. They're really gonna make us LN2 a G7400 for a 3D stage with like a 15-year-old card. 68, yeah. Nvidia. So there's 3 Mac 11 Extreme. Is that GTs only? I would have thought it would be GTs only, but it doesn't. I haven't noted it down here, so. Nope, it's full run. Okay, so full run means 5950X, or what's even the best chip for that? 7980XE. Yeah, it doesn't. The GTs don't scale with the CPU, but combined certainly does. Like combined is. Have you ever tried running combined on like a 6700K versus a 3900KS? It's a big difference. Anyway, I've got 4 GTX 680. What are they called? Lightnings. So I'll bin through those and run Crossfire. Yeah, aim for is just, yeah. I mean, X299 is also asking for some trouble, but aim for isn't that easy either. So we've got Vantage GTs only, GeForce 2000, so that's the RTX 2000. I mean, GTs only with 6 cores, so that's just trolling. 680 cold. I mean, yeah, not that I've run it before, but I'd imagine it'd be like sort of similar to 580 cold. 690 cold. Not the best card to run, I don't think. How many subs are there? 3 subs, so you'd run 680. 686. That's a good question. 680, 670, and then maybe 690 would be the third fastest card. Maybe. It all depends on if you can go cold or whatever. 3 Mark 03 GeForce 200, which I have like 25 GeForce 200 cards, so I'll be running that. 660 Ti. No, I'd take 690 over. I mean 660 even like all out dual card with the extra latency of the SLI bridge and stuff versus the 690. I'll take the 690 over a 660 Ti. LGA 1155. Oh god, I have to get my 4770K out, don't I? That or get a 4980. No, 4960X would do nicely as well. 3 Mark 01 GeForce 4. I don't have any GeForce 4 cards and I don't know anything about them. And I mean, I do have the AM3 AGP card board, the ASRock dual, blah blah blah. But I don't think those cards even exist in Australia. 4820. Oh, because is it 6-core only? It's not 6-core only, is it? What? What are you talking about? Just trying to confuse me at this stage. 3 Mark 03. Let's see. Yeah, there's no core restriction. Why 4820? It's not quad core only. Look, I'm looking at the stage right now. It's the latest version here. Okay, you're talking about the, yeah, so we're talking about the stage that has DDR3 Intel platform restriction, which is the 3 Mark 03 stage. One card, 200 series family, 3 Mark 03. Yeah, it's not quad cores only. Not as it's configured. Are you talking about the AMD? AMD is quad cores only, but that doesn't have a socket restriction, so you'd run LGA 1700 for that. Firestrike GTs, Titans. I own a Titan Maxwell. Artifacts. I think it's the memory. I think it would need to have. I might try baking it or something, but yeah, most likely not going to run that. And let's look at the IGP stages, and then we're done with our preamble. I'm sort of jet lagged, but this beer is keeping me awake. Hopefully I don't fall asleep on stream. Okay, so we've got IGP 1 is 3 Mark 01 DDR2 Intel iGPU. I think is the way to describe it, because it doesn't. Okay, so there's a limit, but I can't really put that limit in my little spreadsheet there. That's too much. But basically that's it. There's a wide variety of, I think these are all 775 motherboard integrated iGPU chipsets, and obviously some are missing or whatever, but it's still, I think it's all 775 for what would be the Titan cards to run. So no Titan V, no Titan RTX, so it would be Titan Maxwell, Titan Pascal, and there's another one. Not the Titan V, not the Titan RTX. There's another one after that. Ah, God, that's gonna bug me. List of Titan cards. Yeah, so the GTX Titan X 2015, that's the Maxwell one, right? So then, but then Titan XP is the like 1080 Ti, whatever that is. So what's a Titan X? What's a Titan? I like what generation is that? Because I thought the original Titan X was, they made a Pascal Titan X, but then what's the XP? I thought that was, isn't Pascal the 1080 Ti generation? Anyway, who cares? I'm not running it anyway. Heaven Basic is the one. Okay, so I'll skip over that. Skydiver GPU. So this is all Intel iGPU. So basically the way to describe this would be Intel iGPU, Skydiver, 1151, 1200. And then stage 4, there's no stage 5. How many subs is that? That is 4. So Vantage AMD. Vantage AIM4 is basically the way to describe this one. So 4 subs for AIM4. Off the top of my head, 5700G, 5600G, 3400G, probably 2400G because it has more shaders than 3200G, even though the 3200. What am I talking about? You would go 4000 series, you'd go 4700G, 4600G, something like that. So I always, that's thanks for that info, Mick, because I always thought that the Titan naming being so close together was just them being bad at naming. But now you're telling me that it's also the same generation of graphics card, which makes it even more bizarre. I don't know. I mean, I suppose more cards, more money, right? So last but not least, 45 minutes into the stream, here's what we're actually benching today. It's dual cores only, Richland and Trinity only, iGPUs only. Sounds pretty simple, but this sort of how did it go? It went like A8. Yeah, it went like, correct me if I'm wrong, but the like naming of the APUs for the FM2 socket went like A10, A8, A4. Does that name? No, I don't think that's right. Was there A6s as well? But basically the A4 generation is the only one that actually is like dual. Okay, let's educate ourselves here. So there's both A8s and A6s. Ah, okay. So the 6400K. So A6s are still, it seems like, dual cores. Maybe this obscure 6420B thing is the one to get. Who knows? But what I'm benching today is the 6300, which, yeah, I don't know if that's even going to be in the top 3 subs now that I'm sort of looking at it. But another one to take note of at least is the 5400K, just because it's unlocked. But yeah, I don't think Trinity is going to be as strong. I think the iGPU is the same, but it's just they refine the process and stuff. It's just going to clock better. And I think I'm right in saying that this is, on the AMD side, FM2 are the only APUs that full pot. Let's just look at a sub here. Actually, let's go. What was her name? Sherv. Do I have that tab open? I do. So one of the few female benchers in the history of overclocking. I think there's, so these are the only two I can think of. Tell me if I'm missing someone. But Sherv was a pretty active overclocker, who used a lot of ASRock boards for some reason. I don't know if she worked for ASRock or what, but she has some good iGPU scores. And the other one I can think of is Marino C, who I think, I mean, the one sub that I really like is this total balls to the wall. I keep looking at this. I'm not the biggest fan of Sempron overclocking on LN2. I think it's pretty annoying. But when I look at these picks, I feel like I want to beat this score. But I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she was going out with legendary Swiss overclocker Christian Ney at some point. There's some pictures on the bot of her overclocking out on the forums and stuff. 9 years and 11 months ago. I always find this is like really schoolboy humor, but I always find this comment funny. She's coming, don't worry. Why does that comment sound all wrong to me, Christian? TMI. Okay, so yes, I think they were going out at some point, but so that's, in my opinion, of the female overclockers I know of. I'm sure there's more out there. That's number 2, but Sherv is I don't know, Sherv, whatever, is number 1. And what she did a lot of was FM2 overclocking. Where is it? Specifically, a really nice, well, look at this, 8.4 on FX is, that's pretty ballin'. That's pretty nice. Look at that RAM heatsink. Pretty retro. That looks like DDR2 RAM actually. What is that DDR2 doing in a Crosshair 5 Formula Z? So nice. 8.4. So there's that, but I think there's a really nice FM2 frequency sub as well. There you go. 8.36 on FM2. This is insane. There you go. That's her. On the ASRock board. But not only that, there was also, I mean, 7.1 on a 4770K is pretty balling as well. That's pretty insane. And again on the OC formula, but I think there was an insane, I mean, whatever about it, insane. Oh, and almost HE on Trinity, which is pretty special as well. On those old pots. Talking about pots, I did get an Elmore order in. I like so I've been using pretty much exclusively the T-Rex revision 1 for a long time now, and it's getting a bit old in a way, so I decided to splash on another pot, mostly for single threaded stuff. Multi-core, probably the T-Rex will still be good, but yes, the regular Volcano, not the Volcano X, pretty hefty, but certainly a smaller pot than the T-Rex. Do I have the T-Rex? May as well get that. Whoa, the weight difference is insane. Insane. Size difference as well. Oh god. Right, I'm tired now. Need a nap. I suppose I can compare the internal structure a bit as well. No, I don't know if you can see that. I like the packaging. Shipping was really quick as well. I like, it's just an odd thing to point out, but I like, oh, I've chipped it already, great. The fact that it comes with one of these sort of like internal structure protectors, that's nice. And that it comes with sandpaper randomly, and it comes with like insulation. I'm notorious for never having good insulation, so the fact that it just comes with insulation is great. And it's got a copper finish on the bottom, which I haven't had a pot that has that ever, I don't think. Reactor, yeah, reactor is good if you can get it. Problem is you can't get it. Yeah, T-Rex, yeah, has some compatibility issues, that's true. Okay. 32M. Check out this 32M. Third for 3770K. Potentially the most bin chip in the history of overclocking. And at the time, she was second. And since then, you know, with modern pastes, modern binning methods, whatever, you know, delidding that they potentially didn't know about at the time, modern pots, Lumi got first, but third on that SKU. Insane. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and at the time we couldn't, you know, they couldn't direct die at the time because the pastes were so crap. And this is, here we've got Uncle Mad. I don't know who these other people are, but isn't this, oh no, I recognize this guy. That's not Andre Yang, is it? I don't know, but anyway, that's a lot of boards to bin. Right, anyway, what I meant to actually look at was the iGPU scores. So how would I find it? 60 6800K. So there was at one point there was a 3 Mark 11 stage in a comp for iGPU on obviously this is a different iGPU with more shaders or whatever because it's 6800K, but the same architecture as I'll be overclocking today. So 1600. Like RAM on LN2 as well. Close to 3000 RAM. Now that is insane on Sammy's. Cold Sammy's 1600 GPU. Actually, I'm not 100% certain that's full pot. I said earlier it's the only full pot APU, but does that look like full pot? Maybe not. Maybe display conks out at some point, like every other iGPU. I mean, there's a lot of ice there. Right. Let's actually overclock now. So let me load up. Okay, so maybe a word on board selection. I do have the ASRock. I just don't have that much experience on it. It may be quite good for this purpose. I also have the Wi-Fi board. It just doesn't have a postcode display. So for the purposes of the stream, I may try it, you know, later in a couple of days' time. But for the purposes of the stream, the UP4 is the way to go. My Crossblade Ranger is dead, has been dead for years. There's not really much else on the platform that I consider. I think Gigabyte is just the way to go. So I've got Sammy's in there. I've pre-allocated 2 gigs of iGPU memory. So I think with PSC, it would be fine, but I just decided, just for ease of use, I'd go for 4 gig stick, so 8 gigs total. One thing to note on this board is don't fall into the temptation of flashing I think it's called the F8A beta bias with Carrizo support. Of course, if you need to run Carrizo, it's the only way to go. But what I found was it kind of just blanks the postcode display. So every time it's posting, it'll be a 15. You know, memory failed, 15. Actually posting, 15. Hung and never going to do anything, 15. Whereas you'll see now if I post a system that F7 gives you useful displays. So this is what I worked on yesterday. I went to 125 B clock. I raised the graphics a bit, and it does work. So because it's a lock chip, it's a non-K. Clock ratio on the CPU is 37 is max. Memory multiply, you can move up and down freely. I just haven't had much luck trying to get it higher than that. I might revisit that. Northbridge, this 16 multi, which you always have to multiply by the B clock, obviously. So 16, you know, a quarter higher, so 2000 Northbridge. What I might do is I might actually lower memory and see if I can get like 130 to pass. I haven't really said anything else all that exciting. Like I've done, it's supposed to be 2 volts DRAM. I've just done really basic timings. Let's try that. 60 is not a good sign. Usually. I should lower for Country Cup Geekbench 4 I borrowed an MSI. Was that on a 6800K or what? So that might have been Core. Actually, it might have been Northbridge. So let's lower Northbridge as well. Let's keep lowering stuff until we get a post at 130 maybe. That's looking like a post actually. So it was was it Northbridge? Really? No. That's a fail. Okay, so let's go down on Core as well. Kaveri. Okay. Yeah, FM2 may well be my all-time favorite platform. I mean, there's so many good platforms, but yeah, FM2 is up there. Okay, so we've lowered everything. Well, graphics, we need to lower graphics as well, so we'll do 850 graphics. Not a massive fan of FM2 Plus. It's a bit finicky, but FM2 regular, I'm a big fan of. So that's maybe yeah, no, sort of half looked like in my post. Give it a bit more DRAM. I didn't find the coal bug painful. I got a chip running that I mean, I could just coast it at like -90. I didn't find the coal bug that restricting. It's just the IMC was weird. The chip just didn't clock how I sort of expected it to clock. Yeah, it varies a lot between chips, but it's not as bad as like AM2. Okay, let's go down in one megahertz steps, and I'll see if I can post. Oh, it's some sort of B clock hole, isn't it? No, this is not gonna boot. Yeah, scaling can be a bit weird. Well, it would help if I press delete. Let's pump some volts. Let's give PCH a little bit. And Northbridge core. And CPU core. Oh, this seems like it might be in the won't do 130. Oh, here we go. Oh, I just needed a bit of PCH or whatever. Nah, it's rebooting though. I mean, I don't think I necessarily need that high. I don't think that core is all that important for Heaven Basic. Yeah, it's just gonna keep rebooting. Okay, I'll go. I mean, I'd be happy with 128. That'd be improvement on what I had yesterday. Did you find any minor volts, Matt, that helped a lot with B clock? So I'm gonna do a run. If this boots, I'll do a run because it didn't boot. Well, or it's just really slow. Yeah, it's slow to initialize driver. Okay, so I mean, it's not taking the multi. It's going up to 5G. It's not actually like applying the multi that I want to apply. Okay, that makes more sense now. So that's why I need a 1.55 on the core. I'll do a run anyway. Okay, so this is the run I did yesterday. But I was seeing that yeah, I was okay. Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. Because on these APUs, like usually I disable all the power saving crap, but on these APUs, sometimes it can hurt to disable. Well, I'll disable it now. And I should be able to do 130, right? CB at -40, still not as bad. Like I was running AM2 chips at -18 or something like that. That's truly shocking. Okay, so that's doing stuff now. I'll find the limits of what it will do just on these settings, and then I'll reapply North Bridge first. Then I'll reapply memory. Well, there's an argument to be made for, you know, keeping core North Bridge and memory down and finding the limits of GPU. How's everyone else feeling about this Team Cup? Is it what you expected? Right, that's what's even the record for the UP4? Maybe I can get a cheeky gold. $173. That doesn't even sound that far away now. Okay, I'm tempted to do 10 B clock steps, but let's go 5. Definitely some overlap because you bench a lot of AMD, and I'm benching every single AMD 2D stage, so it'd be hard for there not to be any overlap. Legacy GPU. You're doing HD 3000 and HD 2000? Or are you mostly talking about the BARTs? All right. I'm happy. This chip is, you know, not a dud. Whatever you can get your hands on. Well, I saw your like OC lab. You basically had every piece of hardware. So sometimes the mouse drops out on this board for some reason. Weird. So if anyone asks, this is an IDE install of Windows 7. East Craft Center. He uses everyone's living room as an East Craft Center. If you ever came to Australia, I'd probably bring a tray of AM3 chips to store. I think that guy has a problem. So the good news with having so much B clock available is you can kind of pick and choose where, you know, you can avoid memory holes and stuff. So that's nice. And then I'd imagine that the lower memory straps might, you know, there might be some internal timings or whatever that are a bit looser on the lower straps. So 145 was a go. By the way, just as a point of comparison, even though it's not much of a comparison, so this is the only score that's What am I talking about? This is the God. Okay, too many tabs. Okay, so this is the iGPU we're clocking today. The bench we're clocking is Heaven Basic. There's only one score by suffrage, and it's 387.9. But it's low GPU, low B clock, low Northbridge, bad timings, and I'm pretty sure that's no LOD as well. So it's not great because I've already done a 420 run. So I've done a 10% faster run without really even trying. Okay, so we're at 145 now, I think. 150. I think I'll just see what the max benchable B clock is and then set the other multis accordingly and sort of go from there. FX4P. Yeah, that'll be a fun stage. So when I came back from my trip, my internet was out, but they've been calling me for weeks because they considered it a fault even when I was gone because I unplugged my router and stuff. But I didn't answer their calls because I was like, I can't diagnose anything remotely, so what's the point? And it was I had to use 5G for quite a while because I called in the fault on a Friday and they didn't have an appointment with the technician guy until the Tuesday. And I've got fiber to the curb, which is maybe a uniquely Australian piece of bullshit where if you're not familiar, a fiber line runs down your street, and instead of just having fiber running to your house, you end up having ADSL for that last little 5 meters between the fiber line and yourself. And that's where the fault was. The pit where you switch from fiber to ADSL was a device that had failed, and it's just so it's unnecessary, because I don't know. I work in IT, and you talk about redundancy and resiliency. Do you have 2n capacity? Do you have n plus 1, n plus 2, whatever? In this case, it's like n divided by 2 because you're creating extra single points of failure for no fucking reason. But what do I know about that stuff? Okay, I'm coming for the record officially. Who has it? An American, even better. Exhaust. Oh no, he's on my team. He's on OCN. So I've done 157 before. What was that? That was on a 6800 on cold. So I'm already beating the 157. I'm on 165. I need to start I need to start running off some balance here. I wasn't expecting this. There you go. So-called iGPU benching. Reference frequency valids. Here we go. And we're back up at 5G already, even though I lowered the multi like a crazy amount. Right. 165. Okay, so sorry to I wasn't following. I have heard theoretically BCLK is actually better when using iGPU. As in, you're saying that iGPU core for a given frequency will do better achieving it on low multi and high BCLK? Is that what you're saying? Still looks like a post. This is 170. So we're beating machine learning, I think. And next up will be Zust. When you're bidding chips and the first chip is good, it's kind of a double-edged sword because you kind of spend so much time maxing the first chip. Hey, there's 170. Is it gonna... I'm not even using XOC mode. This is just easy mode. All right, straight for 175. Take no prisoners. Oh, you increase the bandwidth, but the bandwidth between... Hold on. So you've got memory frequency, you've got iGPU frequency, you've got CPU core frequency, and you've got CPU Northbridge. Allowing for the fact that you're going to lower all those multis in order to raise the B clock, what bandwidth are you actually increasing? I mean, here in this case, it's different because we've got a fixed Northbridge multiplier. So with higher B clock, there is the potential of getting, 3 Northbridge, 3 gigahertz CPU Northbridge, which you can't on low B clock. I get that, but let's just assume all the multis are unlocked. What bandwidth are you increasing in that case with B clock? I'm not really following. Cheap gold, here we come. It's booting. iGPU and MEM, but you have separate multis for those. That doesn't really count. This is it. This is the goal for this board. Nice. Not really what I was expecting, but anyway. Ale, I mean, Ale is a bullshitter, so I wouldn't take everything that he says seriously, but he also is a really good bencher. So sometimes when he says something and it sounds outrageous, it's not true, and other times it's true. How do I look at... Okay, I got it. Reference frequency. I mean, I don't think FM2 Plus will clock as well, so I'll just limit to FM2, which is what I'm running anyway. 188 supposedly is the absolute record for FM2. I did 170 on a crossblade. See, gigabyte better than Azus, confirmed. What's the top? Yeah, 180. That's not even... Yeah, it's just peanuts at this point, really. I'm getting close to the system memory being too high again, so I gotta lower it again. Ooh, hang on 36 is... I mean, I wasn't really expecting that. But, okay, I could be wrong. But I thought you always sort of multiplied in CPU Northbridge frequency into your B clock. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not complaining. I'll don't worry. I will run high B clock. Okay, so that's working. So 180 didn't. 175 now does. So is that Snegovich? Is that cold? And that's on the A88X whatever water. Okay. Right. Are we hitting any limits otherwise? Memory's fine. Encore might start to get a bit... Yeah, but mem bandwidth is mem speed, isn't it? Like, what are you getting at here? There's separate multipliers for every aspect of the system, separate to B clock. So I don't know how, if if you lower multis accordingly, how B clock can help. I don't really get that part. I think in the interest of time, I'm actually gonna stay at 175 and see if I can get a run out at 175. Oh, I actually might be too high on IGP now because that's only 700. That's set to 700 or whatever. Anyway, I'll just see 760 by. That's really high. So that's 760 times 1.75, so 1,300. So let's go 650, let's say. And let's go top multi on the North Bridge and see how that goes. Just slowly like reapply all the settings. Higher bus frequency gives you higher data transfer rates. Okay, I didn't know. Makes some sort of sense. So what I'll do is I'll start a run to see if, you know, it looks like it's stable, somewhat stable. So 1100 GPUs are actually kind of bang on where I was earlier anyway. My memory is still low though. I'd like to actually up the mem as well. So 28 is nice for CPU Northbridge. I think that CPU is low in practice, but it'll do. I'll save it. So I wanted to up the mem. 1 is probably enough. I'll do. I'm greedy. Let's see if I can get like 5. Let's just have a look. No, that's looking horrendous. Or maybe it just. Yeah, no. 1 down on the CPU multi for sure to start off with. Like 28 here. Still not great. Maybe that's the downfall of the high BCLK is you can't clock mem with it. I mean, 175 was close to the limit. I'll do 170 at just all the same settings. Let's see how we go. Yeah, I think the Northbridge voltage. I forget the labeling of all this stuff, but I thought that the NB core was mem controller. VDD is probably video. So 170 still not good enough. I'll try 1 lower on the Northbridge. 07. Looking like it's the memory then. Okay, Let's do it like that. Okay. I mean, that was a super fast boot, but I do want to. So if it didn't like the higher strap, then no, it's not 4 sticks of hyper. It's Samsung. Oh, you can't really see it, but it's 2 sticks of Samsung. Right. So given that that was just memory strap related, I'll go back up to 175. I'll go back up to 29 here. But yeah, switching memory I see is definitely an option. PSC is possible. Hyper is possible. So what's it complaining about now? God damn it. Hey, 170. We go 170 top North Bridge strap. Keep it at 28. No, okay, that's a load. I wanted to do a save. So it is complaining about. Oh yeah, let's go Northbridge down. Well, it's only 170, so let's go Northbridge down. No, it wasn't the Northbridge. Memory's already low. Lower core. There's not really all that much left to lower after that. That's looking like a post. Oh, of course it goes straight into OS. Like the two options are boot failure or straight into OS. Yes. Anytime you want to know what rig is being used, go !rig. Okay, so that worked. So it was the core. So back up to the top Northbridge 1G. And it's like going straight into S. Interesting. Now let's try to. I mean, we'll have to check the effect of CPU core on the actual Heaven basic score, but we'll try 175 at that lower CPU ratio. If that posts, I'm actually happy to boot it and do a run. And then if that's a safe CPU core, if that's a safe B clock and CPU core, then the next step would be maxing the GPU core. Just so you know, LOD is like important. It's like it makes 10% difference. It's nice on core, obviously horrendous DRAM, but we'll have another look later potentially. It's not failed yet. So about 16 FPS was what my previous run. it'll probably be worse now because my GPU is down a bit. Oh, the overlays. God damn it. Really don't want to fuck around with this, but what I'll do is just so you can see the frames. As I'm about to leave anyway to get another beer, so I don't know why the face cam is so important. So 16 frames. Okay, we're there thereabouts. I'm just gonna get a beer. Ooh, Laud doesn't. I didn't check the start of the run, but Laud looks a bit not. It's like semi unapplied. Hold on. This is bugging me a bit. So I just want to make good use of the space, you know. There you go. That's nice. All right, beer time. Be right back. Did I miss anything? So weird to have the camera on the other side of the frame, but there's no point in watching a heaven run without seeing the frames. Oh god, it's cold. It was -2 overnight. Well, I don't know what that's in Fahrenheit, but it was -2. It was below freezing the other night, so not fun. This is a Reckless Brewing Stout, 5.8 ABV. Cheers to those living in jurisdictions where, you know, time zone is appropriate for drinking. As I'm spilling beer all over my mouse mat. No, it's just soaked in. What am I worried about? I totally forgot have an XM. Yeah, do take part. FM2 is such an amazing platform. And talking about amazing things, how amazing is Heaven as a bench? Look at this shit. I mean, it takes away from it a little bit that I'm running it on an iGPU and a dual core, so everything's just stuttering to fuck, but look at this bench, a single GT that runs forever and it does all these camera moves. It's unparalleled. There's nothing like it. I wouldn't take superposition over it. I don't know if I take anything over it, really. Heaven and Stout. How much better does it get? All right, we're on scene 26. I think I had a 16.9 the last time. Yeah, slightly down. 414, but it's a pass, so that's good. But of course, now this bloody camera layout is gonna just bug. It's really gonna bug me. I think the realistic option is just to not show the rig pick and do this. I mean, I don't even need to. Do I need to show? Yeah, Do I need to show the postcode? That's even debatable. But okay, so what are we actually at in terms of, yeah, GPU clock is a bit low. See, now in BIOS it looks a bit odd as well, but I'll make do. So that was 1100 on the GPU. 650. I'll just do 750 and see what happens. What's the worst that can happen? As the alien is having a little bit of a rest. Ah, yes, stout. Okay. Let's run off a render test. 1267, nice. I want more. Do I want more? No, not sleep. How do I even? Oh, yeah, let's just reboot. Let's try that. It's probably a bit adventurous, but let's try it. See, in this view, I can't put my camera left because then it would cover up the postcode. So it's a bit tricky. Yeah, I think I'm getting rid of the postcode in OS. Like, who cares? Right, we're really getting up there in terms of just frequency now. 1478. Nice. Okay. I wonder why that guy only run it at 1,000. Must have not tried very hard. By the way, Tante, the extra BCLK didn't increase the score. That's probably because I've lowered the memory as well, though, to be fair. Probably my imagination, but it is looking a bit like smoother. Ah, we've got White Shark in the house as well, and Ginger Nuts. How are you doing, Ginger? Any smoked meats on the horizon? The only problem is, I mean, you can take key spots in the bench and try to memorize what fractional FPS you had, but it's not easy. It's not easy at all. It's sort of looking the same as before, but it's hard to know. All right, I'm going for a nap. No, I'm not. But is there? So the question would be: is there another score on Heaven Basic that makes, like, is more comparable to this that we can kind of aim for? So let's go hardware rank 1. Okay, so this is literally the slowest score. But if we go one SKU up, Is that achievable? I know it's probably more shaders and stuff, like a lot more shaders. So what's that? That's got 192 shaders versus 128, so 50% faster. Yeah, not great. Running PSC though, that's probably a pretty good idea. I also wonder if this overclock is kind of fake. Like, I'm not seeing the scaling above like 1100 GPU. So I wonder if the GPU multi being set, ooh, 30 FPS through that is interesting. Like, somehow, is it like fake clocks or is it downclocking? Is there a, can I go into the regular Heaven benchmark, not the HarborBot wrapped one, and run a windowed run and see the sensor tab in the background? That'd be interesting. Yeah, so I do aim to do another stream on Tuesday. I don't know where in the process I will be. I could try to do, I think I've done something similar to the 680. I tried to bin 680s through TimeSpy GT2 once, I think, on stream. So that would be a bit of a repeat. Just having a look at the list. Oh, gained like an FPS there, an entire FPS. Okay, so it is scaling off GPU. Okay, 450. That's looking like something worth saving for reference, at least. All depends on, since I moved to my new house, I haven't actually gotten LN2 delivered. So if I can get it next week, I don't know what day of the week the deliveries actually happen. If it's Monday or Tuesday, then I might be able to do an LN2 stream. Probably not something Team Cup related because don't want to give away scores, but yeah. So let's have a look at the list. A 478 stream could be nice. Have I ever done 478? Livestream 87. What devil's in the detail? That looks wild. Cold RAM? That's not 478 though. Yeah, I've got an infinity board for 478, so yeah, I don't think I've done anything with it on stream. So that would definitely be a candidate if the Celeron arrives by then. I bought it from Western Australia. Yeah, I was thinking is that an AliExpress buy, but no, it's an Australian buy. So no, that's not what I want to do. Yeah, that is what I want to do. 850 was fine. Did I try higher? Let's do 950. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? can't believe this is working, but there we go. It just smells like fake clocks, but maybe the low shader count stuff just scales like crazy. Okay, I'm just curious. I'm gonna go 100 higher. Does it just ever end, or is it just an infinite thing? Let's do it. So 950 is good. What about 1050? It's insane. Does it just get fooled by B clock? Is it like, oh yeah, of course I'll give you 1050. That's not very high, but actually it's just being clocked to absolute just oblivion. There's got to be a limit though. I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm just quietly suspicious of what's going on at this current moment in time. Like nearly 2000. I mean, fair enough. So how close are we to the 2000? Let's try and get a 2000 run out. Okay, well, 1773. That's still far away. Yeah, that's my feeling exactly. I'm suspicious. If it keeps scaling, you know, who am I to complain about that? But I'm quietly I've got my suspicions are arisen. That's not very good grammar, but you know what I mean. I was gonna say arouse. My suspicions are my interest has been piqued. That's a better way of putting it. I mean, maybe it's the best IGPU ever, and Weg is going to lose that stage like every other stage in Team Cup. Yeah. All right, now we're starting to get into the category of maybe we can beat the next IGPU up, because what was it, 450 was the last run? Even more. This is only 538. It's not a million miles away. This is an interesting just overview just to even think about, you know. So New Life, was that a cold run? I don't think so. Water, okay. I mean, 1300. Hopefully I'm not giving away any massive tips here, you know? Like maybe all the other teams were planning to skip the 6300 because it's locked or whatever. And then I find this one that just clocks into you know, absolute insanity, and everyone goes out and buys 6300s. Or maybe it's just golden, who knows? So I upgraded my streaming rig to a Windows 11. I have to admit, on my laptop I hated 11. I went back to 10. The laptop came with 11. But on a rig I don't use very often, it's sort of worked out okay so far. We'll see. Any good scores on Hoverbot? So on the Discord, League said the stages will be final tomorrow, so that's good. That's good news. Yeah, the scores front has been quiet. I think what's kind of happening is it's a little bit too early for Raptor Lake refreshes. I mean, certainly for the scores to drop, but maybe the sort of in-house overclockers and stuff like that, maybe they're already kind of working. I mean, they're definitely already working on it, but it'll take away from the time they have to do regular scores. I'm surprised. I'm surprised, but I'm also not surprised about the big gap between first and second half, because it's been Splave and Ox for years now. I'd argue that OG, like Stavros is the better bencher, but Alan just seems to have more drive or more time to just keep keep accumulating hardware points and all that. Like by right, in a way, I think safe disc should is the wrong word, but I can easily envisage a world in which first and second place are Splave and Safe Disc, because they're sort of the all around benchers, um, points benchers. I mean, the best all around bencher. That's like a 20 FPS average. What the fuck? I'm 450 again. So it's the scores are sort of quantized. It's funny. Like you don't really like go up to the next score level unless you have a lot more clocks. What about Sebi? Sebi can't even do memory frequency world records right. Never mind benching for points. Nah, he's very young. He's like, oh no, the alien fell over. Not that you can even see it at the moment. It's starting Windows again. This is crazy. Yeah, you know what I mean. I mean, I think that like in terms of, everyone has different goals in benching, and in terms of people who are the most focused, who spend the highest percentage of their time accumulating points, like Harborbot points, it's Splave and Safe Disc for sure. I mean Shar as well. Now that Shar is in Elite League, you can just tell how high up he is. He was always sort of hiding away in Extreme League, and that sort of masked his position a bit. So the other thing about the iGPU scaling so by such a crazy amount is the memory is very relaxed, so that's playing into it probably. And not only probably, it's definitely playing into it. I'm tempted to hit like setting and trying to run a windowed run. There we go. Consistency. Yeah, definitely not much scaling going on anymore here. Such a shame that is the IMC bad, or is just the board not optimized for this chip? There's something weird going on with the memory clocking on this. How is it still finishing runs? It's crazy. Obviously next step is 2000. So what do we need for 2000? We need 11.42 multi. That's not what I'm after. What way around do I have to multiply it out? 1.75. Okay, 2000 divided by 1.75. So I need to set 1143. Cool. 8:20 p.m. and I'm still awake. That's good. fighting the jet lag. I mean, this is not a complete view of things, but here's my bag of chips intended to be used for Team Cup as it stands, that are Intel chips. And this is not even a complete view. That's AMT. It's actually just completely full, basically. It's also getting cold. I think that might be the limiting factor with this stream is when because I was dumb enough to run a dual core iGPU in winter that doesn't produce any heat at night, where it gets colder every hour. Yes. Next stream is going to be 8-way 290X GPU Pi, guys. That'll keep the heat up. Or what about a 4-way GTX 480 3 Mark 11? That will certainly that'll work. Okay, are we actually seeing higher frames? So almost, was it a 20 average or a 20 end frame? I saw 20 on the end last run. So let's keep an eye. We're on scene 23 of 26. $290 non-X? No, I don't. I don't think it was a 20 average. Either that or performance is tanking now. 18 average. I keep getting 450s no matter what I do. Okay, so we need to set 1140. I think was... No, we've already got that. So 2000 divided by 1.75, 11, yeah, 1140. So we're already at 2000, but let's do an extra 50 here. Northbridge is what it is. Can't go higher. One higher CPU core, one higher BCLK. Okay, being cheeky. No. Don't think that's posting. Oh, I was wrong. Something's happening. Is it hang on AA though? No, just straight in. The other thing is I'm using HDMI, so you know, in certain scenarios, DVI can score better or have less display drops, but obviously because I need to capture it, I can't do anything with it. I can't use a different out. We actually had 2000 GPU. Way above 2000 GPU. Something weird's going on here. I guess it's just totally bottlenecked by memory, right? Yeah, of course. I mean, it's doesn't surprise me, but it's just I can try the higher multi again. Interesting. I do want to see GPU-Z reported clocks during a run though. I don't know how I'm going to pull that off, but I do want to see that. So what's everyone's favorite TC stage? Yeah, I mean, if the IMC really isn't going to go high like that, then obviously just like AM3 type timings would be the way to go. I'm just surprised because when I was on 100, trying to think, when I was on 100 BSL or when I was on 120 BCLK, I could do 2000 DDR3. But now on the high BCLK, I think the next strap up is 1800 and it's not working. So there's something else going on as well. It's a pity that there's not that many straps. It's not like nowadays where you have like a 4800 strap, a 5000 strap, a 5200 strap, 5400 strap, all the way up to like 16,000 just in 200 megahertz steps. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, for sure. Not tonight. I mean, I'll probably just end the stream before changing RAM ICs, but I still have a few more things to try. So, what else could I mean? I can certainly tighten timings. Core. I don't think core really does much. I just up the core by one multi. Yeah, I'm just trying to think what tweaks I sort of remember or don't remember about. I mean, basically, what I need to do next is set like 5,000 GPU core and see what happens. Because if it posts, then you know something's up. If it doesn't post, the clocks could be real, but they could still be like phantom throttling or something. It just all depends. $33 megahertz step straps, yeah. So what does everyone think about the Reddit apocalypse? What's gonna happen? How's it all gonna end? It's really weird to like go on a like I have a Synology NAS, so I sometimes go on the Synology subreddit, and the entire Reddit is subreddit is set to not safe for work. So it's like, look at this NAS, you know, 4 nicks that are ready for plugging or some bullshit like that, just to make it sound not safe for work, but it's actually not. It's kind of funny, but 453. Okay. How are the temps? Temps seem good, but okay, let's save this just for future reference. And then let's figure out a way to run sort of windowed mode. I've never done this with Heaven. I've never felt the need, but there's a first time for everything. So if I go into Heaven regular, which is obviously not shit, what's engine, Heaven. That's okay. Interesting. Didn't know that's how it worked. Do I have to like press a button or something? Ah, okay. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. I feel like a total hackster now. So, what we want is DirectX 9, non full screen, and what's the resolution? I have it written down here somewhere. So the resolution you want is 1280 by 1024. Okay, so this should be emulating actual Heaven Basic. And now what we do is we run GPZ sensor tab. Whoop. Perfect. Oh, I can't relocate, but I can relocate this, so that's all good. Oh, you can relocate, but because I'm on dual core, it's so slow. Sorry, dual core, I'm really torturing you. It's keeping clocks. It appears to be keeping clocks. And temps are fine. And I wonder what the VDDC is 1.27. What does that mean? Okay, let's just do the easy thing and set 10,000 GPU and see what happens. It's an interesting problem to have. Okay, save. Okay, what's the max I can set? 9,000, 2,000, let's say. 3,000, 2,500, 2,000, 2,100. Is 2,000 actually the max? 2,000 is the max. Okay, let's set 2,000. See how it happens. It's like looking like a post. Weirdly. Am I gonna be B clock limited on fucking iGPU? It just doesn't seem. It just doesn't seem realistic. How is this thing scaling so much? I don't really get it. There's something going on that I can't put my finger on. 3,300 GPU clock just doesn't make any sense. What the hell? And it's probably not even going to scale. I mean, I guess what it ensures is that no, it doesn't. I just can't. Yeah, it's not real. I think maybe what's happening is the iGPU is actually independent of BCLK, and its GPU said is, I don't know where the fault lies, but somewhere along the line something makes the wrong assumption that the iGPU multi needs to be multiplied by BCLK, but it actually isn't. So now I'm probably running 2,000. I wouldn't say probably, but it's a realistic scenario that I'm running 2,000 now and not 3,400. I mean, it's not even scoring differently. Yeah, scuffed multis. So what I need to do is maybe after this run, go back down to 100 BCLK. Because I was getting, funnily enough, when I was close to 100 BCLK, I was getting fails. So I was finding that certain clocks were stable enough to boot OS and to run GPU-Z render test, but not stable enough to finish Heaven. So it's not like this iGPU is just golden. Um, hmm. Does the CPU Z GPU tab? That's a good point. I'll just let this finish, just out of curiosity, to see if there's any scaling whatsoever from 2000 GPU to so-called 3400 GPU. But after that, I'll have a look at that. I mean, I should really be installing EasyTune as well, just to see what that reports. But I knew going in. I had a vague recollection of previously running FM2i GPUs and having issues with being able to set GPU clocks. But I think that was on the Wi-Fi board, and I think it was actually not being able to set clocks. So there was a setting in BIOS that lets you set clocks, but then I'd get to Windows and there would be no evidence to suggest that the clocks were set. Whereas here we're apparently setting clocks, but not really. So it's sort of the opposite problem in a way. Yeah, I'm starting to think that just for the purposes of being able to bin things against each other, 100 BCLK may actually be. I mean, you may lose a little bit with the whatever it is, 37, or with. I would then re-enable Turbo Boost and get 39 multi. So with a 3.9 CPU core, you may be losing like 0.5% or whatever. But I think that setup might be preferable to this, where you don't really know what you're running. I mean, the other thing is, I mean, obviously I'm low on memory clock, but it seems like I'm not getting any scaling off of CPU Northbridge either. So that's the only two things that are like hard locked are CPU Northbridge and CPU Core, and I don't really need either of them to be high. So if um if I go 100 BCLK, at least for testing purposes, that might not be a bad thing, because I still have control over the iGPU all the way up to 2000, and I have control of the memory up to the 2133 strap, or is there something higher than that? So I think it's not optimal, but it's better than what we're running now, I think. Try older BIOS. I mean, I was seeing scaling. Like the first run I did on like stock was, I think, 350. So I think that, okay, so that's absolutely no improvement. Okay, GPU tab and CPU Z. See, that's showing 2000. Okay, so I think what that setting in BIOS might actually be doing is it might look at the currently selected B clock and then select an appropriate iGPU multi. So it's like, if anyone knows the DFI boards, the DFI DDR2, I think the DDR1 board as well, but the DDR2 790FX AM2 Plus board, I have the M2RS, there's the M2RSH as well. It kind of has something like a selection, a drop down menu that looks like memory straps, but it's actually like a sort of semi intelligent memory frequency selection drop down. Like no matter what B clock you have selected, if you select 1066 megahertz DDR2, it will then pick a strap adjacent, with taking into account the current B clock. It will take a strap that's adjacent to 1066 with the B clock applied, and I think that's what this might be doing as well. So I'm gonna go back down to 100, try for 2133, and then max this, 37, re-enable turbo. Let's try that. I don't think there's side port. 07 code is not a good. That's not a good code. Oh, it's even refusing to post. Well, that's great. Like refusing to even try to post. Wow. Yes. That's, I mean, I let GPU clock at 2000 on purpose because I wanted to see, you know, this is what I would expect. I would expect that the iGPU can't do 2000, can in fact not even post 2000. So now we have evidence like to back that up. So now what I'll do is I'll do like 1500. Okay, so load that 100. Yeah, let's do 1500. Yeah, see, so now we're closer to posting, which is what I would expect. I know I can pass 1100. I've done like 1100 real GPU clocks, I think. Okay, can we just shortcut this process a bit? The button location is odd, like buttons on the top. Yeah, it could be them. Button on the top, but postcode at the bottom. Not ideal. Okay, I'm gonna throw on a little heater here. If that's annoying, let me know. But I'm really dying inside. Okay, let's go lower, ma'am. And same everything. Yeah. Okay, so that was the mem strap. Oh no, it's probably closer to posting. Yeah, kind of, maybe, potentially. Okay. See now, I mean, I hope it does 1500 real GPU clocks, but I would expect a GPU-Z render test fail, to be honest. Interesting how it sort of defaults to this. 1500 set, but only 1382 real. $26 on the core. Single channel mem. Okay, something weird. Let's just make one small little change, like go 1400 GPU or something, and see if we can get the second channel back. Oh, why is no 37, mate? Right. How are we looking in terms of RAM? Has it recovered? Single still. God damn it. At least the CPU multi has set correctly now. So it seems to drop RAM channels when the GPU is sort of stressed. So let's go down 100 again. What's the what now? I don't think there's ganged and unganged on FM, like on Excavator. There is on Thuban and DNAB, but not on this architecture. Come on, give me 2 channels. Yay! Is it a go? Is it gonna do stuff? Whew, nice. I don't like that it gives me 1266, but that might just be a strap thing, but that's looking like a really smooth render test. So I actually expect, if it's really applying 1266, a heaven fail. Or like a pass, but it's close to the edge. That's what I expect, but let's see. Whoa. But it's not running faster. That's... oh, yeah, okay. That's slow. Is it now running into some sort of throttling? Let's see. Is it really CPU clocks? Wow, I don't... yeah, I wouldn't have thought so, but... okay, DirectX 9, not full screen, and it was this resolution, and we need a sensor tab. Hey, iGPU benching is fun, isn't it? No, just one tab will do. Eight gigabyte. I have two 4 gigabyte sticks, so I don't know what you're getting at. I'd expect 8 gigabytes. No throttling. Okay. It could be Northbridge. I mean, 1.6 gigahertz Northbridge is, you know, quite low. Or like you say, it could be CPU. Yeah, that's an AMD thing. It's just, I don't know why, but when you're single channel, it still reports full capacity. Don't ask me why. So this is, see, this is showing everything fine. Huh. But why is performance bad? Lol, it's still set. Is it really core? Is it? That's weird. That's funny. That's... I can't put my finger on it. I don't know what's going on there. I mean, this should be able to do 8-10-10 for sure. Was it just a slow start, or was it going to finish like it doesn't strike me as a bench that would have... I mean, there's the infamous heaven stutter, but I didn't get that. Doesn't really strike me as a bench that would start slow and then catch up. I don't know. It doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. Because the other thing is, I need to be able to find a way to bin my chips. I have, you know, 2 other chips, and I'm not sure what I would do. That's looking a bit smoother, but maybe it's just my imagination. I'm not sure what I would do to bin chips now. Do I bin for B clock? Is B clock even useful? Do I bin for a GPU core? I suppose I do, but and there's that whole other thing. So if the way you figure out when you've hit the limit of the iGPU is you dropping a memory channel, then does high VDIM help to prevent dropping a memory channel? And if so, are you then forced to run SAMIs even if they're not optimal? Excuse me. Yeah, that's still looking slow to me. I mean, the thing about all this is, at least we know that um, GPU core is legit. So I could, or sorry, CPU core is legit. I could, what I could do is, I could core bin them. Yeah, I know that, but I'm not convinced that. I mean, I guess the proper solution would be to find a BIOS that lets me clock GPU while B clock is up. That would be the proper solution. Let's actually just lower this to like 500. I don't care. Lower this to 1,000. 6 gigahertz, eh? Fat chance. 5.25. Okay. Go lowest multi here. 5.25. I mean, that's not totally unreasonable. Let's see if we can. I'll finish the stream like this. What I'll do is I'll try to find on air the highest CPU core frequency that I can pass through heaven. So that's a fail. Let's try 1.6. You only live once. ATI tray tool. ATI tray tool to set GPU clocks in OS or to like monitor them. To set or monitor, or both, I guess. We'll go 170. Ah, of course. But turbo enabled, isn't that just, that only happens when you boot into OS, I think. But I'll disable it anyway, just, you know. Looks disabled actually. I was able to do like 5 gigahertz before. Why is it? Maybe the other multis are set to something that just doesn't like. Maybe my North Bridge is too low. Actually, I think I was able to do full North Bridge, like 16x North Bridge on 175 before, so I don't know why I'm dropping that necessarily. I don't know why I'm dropping the iGPU, because that's all fake clocks anyway, so I should probably just auto the iGPU. Auto both. Memory, I'm on the lowest strap. Okay, let's auto. All right, auto that. Let's go a little bit lower here. I think what we want is we want top multi, disabled, and in whatever BCLK gives you, like, just stay top multi basically. Don't push BCLK too much for no reason. I'll install this stupid fucking app center or whatever it's called. Okay, so that's a legit 4.8 boot or whatever. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, let's do 140. App Center, here we go. 22 megabyte download. That's reasonable. Okay, so that's a 5 gig boot, seems like. Or is it? Stuck on AE. Almost. Okay, let's go 135. What's the top valid? Let's grab another cheap gold. Let's see. Well, 5.9 on Cascade, I think. That's a bit out of reach. 5.7. Ooh, Junk Dog. I can get like Aussie second. What's this? Okay. Interesting. 130 it is then. I mean, even like 132. It's got a boot now. It's destiny. The weird display blackout that you always get. It's not mounting the USB drive for some reason. There we go. Dual cores are slow. Hello? Macrium, of course. Come on. Copy the damn files. You can do it. I know it's hard, but jeez. Okay. There we go. Probably have no B clock control in EasyTune anyway. Yes, let's do it. Ooh, I haven't looked through control center settings at all. That's another interesting topic. What's in here? I don't know if test off shouldn't do anything, but Gigabyte, not App Center, but EasyTune. Load the view in Windows Explorer, please. We've come a long way. The speed of light. Come on. Come on. I want to just see the contents of a folder. It's like doing CD in DOS. It can't be that complicated. Come on. Come on. Come on. Okay, let's try again. Wow. It's really on Struggle Street. Is it ever gonna happen? Okay. Time for me to read the Sunday paper while this is happening. Let me try a FAT32 USB. Maybe that's more. I don't know. I don't know why it's hard to open up an exFAT USB. It shouldn't be, but oh, here we go. We open up. Whoa. Actually, I think I had EasyTune already in downloads folder anyway. Oh, I didn't. The struggle is real. Yep. Come on. Come on. There's something inside this folder. I want it. Okay, there's the setup file. I'm excited. Is this some new benchmark? Copying files around on a dual core? It should be. Clearly, it should be. Let's do this on LN2. It might be the same speed as my laptop. Maybe. Okay, come on. Come on. Yeah, a whole 56 megabytes is so hard to copy from a USB 3.2 stick. Do we have more details? A speed of 3 megabytes per second. Wow. Blazing fast. It's probably not even gonna work. I mean, either the copy isn't gonna work, or once I install EasyTune, it's not gonna give me the things I need to have. So what is going on? Hey, that's something very wrong, clearly. Yes. No, I don't want to try again. Okay, so I have a FAT32 drive here. Ugh. Same shit. Oh God, even resizing Windows is a hassle. Should I just copy over the entire thing? I don't know. I mean, none of these operations should be hard. I don't know what the system wants from me. You know, like how can I make it easy on the system? I don't know. I just don't know. Oh yeah, I think we're there now. I think we're there. I mean, this install could still fail. Is this the new copy was it? Yeah, secret tweak for 32M. Copy around EasyTune 10 times and fail 12 times while doing it. Wow, that was fast. And we need a reboot. The thing is, the system is fine for reboots. It doesn't, it kind of reboots the same speed as any other device, but somehow copying files around is a real hassle. Okay, do we have EasyTune now? Is this the real world? Okay. Oh, I have Overdrive. I should have tried that as well. Gigabyte. Where the fuck is EasyTune? I can't believe it. Oh, I suppose I can. Yes, I can open App Center and then it should be registered within App Center, kind of. EasyTune. There we go. What's this gonna do? Probably nothing. It's probably gonna keep spinning for the next quarter of an hour. It went away. Is that a good thing or is it a bad thing? I've never seen this version of EasyTune. It's actually interesting. Oh, host BCLK. We actually potentially maybe have BCLK control. I'm excited. All right. Let's try. It's a drop down for BCLK. Not an input box, not a plus minus button, a fucking drop down for BCLK. Okay, how do I apply? Oh, apply. It actually applied. Okay, I can't. Do not show this message again. This is so dumb. Go away. I want to overclock. Ooh, 5 gigahertz. Woo. Okay, is that the Australian record? I should probably enable XOC mode. What's Poly 5080? It shot itself. Okay, so now let's go XOC mode. And I'm paranoid, so I always write protected. And then I use 32-bit because that's lighter, as they say. Okay, let's valid this. There we go, 5G. Sweet. Let's beat Poly. The B clock went up, but the... No, don't reboot the system. What? It seems to be like strapped or something, because it doesn't let me change more than like 3 B clock or something. That's odd. Okay, so what other things can we change here? So Northbridge core we can change apparently. CPU V core, DRAM, and just the two ratios. Oh, of course. Well, what you do there is you boot like 140 at a lower at a lower multi, and then up the multi in OS, like you would, you know, on a modern system. Okay, so we disable. Do we want to disable boost? Yeah, okay, we'll disable boost. Oh, what's happened here? Why is it all like fucked up? Okay, load that. Go 140. Okay, so on auto it'll be 5.18. But if you do like 36 or 35 or 34 even, we boot that and then we up the multi. Who would have thought that FM2 can be locked? FM2 can be overclocked like a regular just system where you just up the multi in OS. All right, let's try to beat Poly, then see what we can pass in heaven, and then maybe do a final run with GPU clocks applied. I think this is a memory fail now. I didn't lower memory sufficiently. So all right, let's go again. Load try, go 140. Yeah, I was trying to boot fucking 3000 memory. That's not gonna happen. And then we go like 4.5 ish, and this we can auto, this we can auto, and then we save that as try, and off we go. You're nodding off in your chair. Well, I should really be doing that too. 9 p.m. Ooh, we've got a boost. I think A0 is a bit weird, but okay, I'll roll with it. So fucked up to have to open EasyTune via App Center of all things. Okay, so we need to beat the 5015. Actually, I'm going to do CPZ 32, advanced OC. Open this up, 4.5 as expected, but high BCLK. Keep the BCLK. How is the ratio fucking a drop down as well? Ooh. I didn't like that. I just powered off the system. Yeah, so not all the EasyTune functions are working basically. Oh no, it's trying to like recover the BIOS and stuff. Okay, I'll go back to our like near 5G setting. Boot that up the beat. Booted with reasonable memory and GPU and Northbridge. Um, and then try to pass heaven. Gigabyte reboot ASMR. Look, I aim to please. Oh, okay. We have actually booted the setting that we had before. Okay, this is exciting. I mean, mildly exciting. Oh, that's actually a pretty decent GPU clock as well. Memory is totally fucked though. Let's just give App Center a go. Well, easy tune. I mean, so it's we're on 32. Is it going to do that weird thing where it boosts up to 39 anyway, and that's why it fails? Like that's why it hangs. Let's try 33. What if I set this to 33? No. Okay, so NOS multi is just totally fucked. Thanks for the good luck. I need it. 37 and then 130 here. Something like that. Boost off. Boost off. Okay, let's try to boot 4.9. I mean, that's slightly too high. Go down 1 or 2 Beacock. Oh, maybe it's not too high. At least when we're trying to set B clock, it's soft fails, whereas when you try to set multi, it hard fails. So I'd rather that. So on LN2, obviously need to have good clock control on the GPU. I feel like getting hangs. Okay. I should maybe try AMD Overdrive or something. If that has B clock in it. I don't need much. I don't need, all these fancy secondary voltages or anything. I just need something in OS that gives me the little bit of wiggle room that I need. All right, let's try overdrive. Okay, it's looking promising actually. Even though I've probably said that before. Clock voltage. Okay. PCIe speed. Where's my? I don't see B clock. VTT. Northbridge. iGPU. There's even a slider for that. HT ref clock is wrong. Okay, now I'm curious about iGPU. If there's InOS iGPU, that's pretty, like, that's Gosu. That's pretty cool. 760, so try 800. It's doing something. So what if I can get 1200 real out of this? or thereabouts. So just a tiny bit more. How the fuck is AMD Overdrive the utility that potentially, maybe, hopefully, is getting me actual GPU clocks? No, that's not what I wanted. Now, of course, the temptation is there to go back into BIOS and, you know, up the memory and start the whole process again, basically. If this is what I think it might be. Terrible frames. Even though it's 4.9 GPU, CPU. Okay. Let's just go up to the memory strap that we want. Whoops. I mean, that's not a bad strap. For 1600 here and auto on the processor because I don't care anyway. I just want my previous like 450 score back even. It's, yeah. All right, did everything apply as expected? Let's make sure we have dual channel and CPU. It's all reasonable. Yeah, I think hypers, maybe just to avoid that whole headache, hypers might be the way to go. So we want like 950-ish. I mean, it's blanking the display and everything. It really does seem like something is happening. Okay, 1350 is pretty, that's pretty athletic. Okay, I think this is the last runner of the night. I'm gonna let it finish. It's just hard for me to know what the actual clocks are on all the different components, and beyond that, what the actual performance impact is. I can get to a certain level, like the 450 score I can replicate all day long probably. 450 was a 3400 GPU core. Sure. But yeah, getting beyond that, I'm not sure. Like, it doesn't seem to be reacting that much to memory timings or Northbridge. CPU core does, yeah, it does seem to do something. I don't know, there's like a hard cutoff below which either CPU core or CPU Northbridge is having some sort of an effect. Like, I can see it's smoother now, but it's still that like 16 to 17 FPS range. Monster efficiency, yeah. Or, you know, maybe the other efficiency was garbage. Do you ever think about that? It's such a pretty bench. Be positive. So what do you want to see next stream, guys? 3D 478. I mean, 478 is a strong candidate. I'm actually gonna like just pencil it in. Question mark. I think that could be fun. 6-core stuff. Bart's X-Fire, yeah. I mean, it would certainly heat up the room. That's a good idea. See, we're at 15 average. It just doesn't. It's not. Kind of no matter what I'm doing, it doesn't really seem to, you know, really scale the way it's supposed to scale. Because 100 megahertz on the iGPU is 10%. You know, on a normal iGPU, 100 megahertz core, you'd want about 5% scaling score wise. 6870. Yeah, I have a few too. Yeah, I mean, bugged out CPU GPU frequency doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's only when you can produce a score that's bugged. That's the real concern. Bugged out GPU frequency on iGPU especially is very common. Like the Intel iGPUs they never read correctly on GPU Z. So third score for Bart's, you mean? Or third score for this stage? 3400 core, yeah. Don't worry, I'll find a way to get B clock up to 200, so then it'll be 4000 core. Yeah, there's the 6870 X2 and the 6850 X2, and then the next thing is like what, a 6830 or something? I don't even know. It's all bad options. Yeah, this score is garbage. $407. Well, that's not great. Let's have one more go at the whole B clock thing. Can I get it to behave? Yeah. So funny when overclockers try to find like a really crappy skew that nobody has any interest in because it's such a low end card, but then everyone wants it. Like even this is like sort of bugging. You see, no, I don't. Okay, guys, as it stands, next week is going to be 478 Celeron. If I get that, let's like literally just real time look at whether that chip is on the way. Purchase history. Estimated delivery Friday 23rd. Sounding good. All right. Thanks for watching. That has been a fun stream. It was fun to hang out. Overclocking wise, it wasn't so successful, but that's not really all that unusual for my streams. But in terms of just banter and all that, it was a lot of fun. So thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. You know, like, share, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. And talk on Tuesday.